Grief. It's the price we pay for love, the shadow that proves the sun was real. It feels like a storm, an intruder, a weight we are told we must get over. But what if grief is not a problem to be solved, but a sacred alchemist? What if its true purpose is not to break you, but to remake you? This is the Alchemy of Grief, a visual meditation on the art of loving what we lost without losing ourselves. Let's begin. The first act of healing is naming. Too often, we run from grief because we fear its enormity. We drown ourselves in busyness, numb with distractions, or bury sorrow beneath forced smiles. But unacknowledged grief does not disappear. It waits, festering in the hidden chambers of the soul. To name grief is to honor it. To say aloud, yes, something was taken from me. Yes, I hurt. Yes, I am changed. Visualize for a moment a dark winter landscape. Bare trees, silent ground, breath crystallizing in cold air. This is the emotional terrain of unspoken grief. Yet winter is not lifeless. Beneath the frozen soil, seeds wait. Beneath stillness, roots deepen. Naming grief is like recognizing that winter is also a season, necessary and transformative. By naming, we begin to reclaim power, not by force, but by gentleness, by allowing ourselves to be real. Grief does not always come from death alone. Sometimes it emerges from words that cut too deep, betrayals that break relational trust, silences that echo louder than screams. Hurtful words have the power to scar the psyche. They echo through years, reshaping how we see ourselves and others. But here lies another paradox. Words can wound, but they can also heal. When grief comes through relational pain, the alchemy of healing requires us to release the poison of those words without releasing the truth of who we are. Consider a river carrying debris after a storm. If the current flows, the debris is eventually washed downstream. But if the water is dammed, the debris stagnates, festering and contaminating. Grief demands movement. To speak our pain, to express our sorrow, is to keep the river of the soul flowing. Grief is not just in the mind. It lodges in the body. Tightness in the chest, heaviness in the limbs, shallow breathing, restless nights. Our bodies carry the memory of every loss. Visual meditation becomes a way of tending to the body's memory. Imagine placing your hand gently over your heart, feeling its steady rhythm. Each beat is a reminder that you are still here. Imagine roots extending from your feet into the ground, anchoring you to the earth that has held countless generations of sorrow and renewal. The body becomes the altar where grief is both felt and sanctified. To heal, we must learn to listen, to notice where the body holds tension, to offer breath as a balm, to move in ways that release. In this, grief transforms from enemy into messenger. Grief asks us to live inside paradox. We long to hold on to what we lost, yet we know we must let go. To cling too tightly suffocates. To let go too quickly betrays memory. The alchemy of grief is not choosing one over the other, but learning to hold on and let go simultaneously. We hold on to love, to meaning, to what shaped us. We let go of the illusion that life can remain unchanged. Visualize a tree in autumn. The tree does not curse its falling leaves. It lets them drift away, yet it does not let go of its roots. In fact, it is precisely by letting go that the tree prepares for another season of growth. In the same way, we learn to live with both, keeping love alive while releasing what is no longer here. In the wake of loss, creativity becomes a form of resurrection. When we create, paint, write, sing, cook, plant, build, we give shape to what grief cannot express in words alone. Creativity becomes the alchemist's fire, transmuting sorrow into something new. This is not about productivity. It is about expression, about giving grief a voice that does not destroy, but transforms. Think of Japanese kintsugi, the art of repairing broken pottery with gold. The cracks remain visible, but they are filled with beauty. The vessel is not restored to its old state, but remade into something even more luminous. Creativity allows us to become vessels of kintsugi, where brokenness shines as resilience. At the heart of grief is restlessness, sleepless nights, anxious questions, the ache of absence. Yet beneath all of this, there is a deeper current: peace. Peace is not the absence of grief, but the acceptance of its place in our story. It is the still lake reflecting both storm clouds and starlight. Visual meditation here invites us to sit at the edge of that lake within, to breathe slowly, to allow thoughts to ripple without chasing them, to feel the vastness of presence holding us. This is not escape, it is a homecoming. Grief becomes the threshold through which we rediscover our forgotten capacity for stillness. The danger of grief is that we lose ourselves in what was lost. The alchemy of grief teaches us another way: to love what we lost without losing who we are. This requires intentional living, choosing daily rituals that nourish rather than deplete, returning to the body, the breath, the ground, seeking silence as medicine, choosing relationships that honor authenticity. Reclaiming ourselves means remembering that grief does not define us, it refines us. We are more than our losses. We are living beings, still capable of wonder, joy, tenderness, and courage. Grief is not a problem to solve, but a mystery to enter. It is the crucible in which the human heart is remade. It asks us to embrace paradox, to love and to let go, to weep and to create, to ache and to be at peace. The alchemy of grief is this: in loving what we lost, we discover the depth of love that remains. In facing absence, we discover presence. In mourning endings, we discover new beginnings. We do not get over grief, we grow through it. We become.